Hey guys, welcome back. I'm edcgunner, and today I have another watch for review for you guys, and I have it on a Strapmania Zulu band, and this is a Junkers watch, and it's made in Germany with the Russian movement inside. It's powered by the Russian famous or semi-famous chronograph, automatic it's a manual one chronograph with the, it's called 3133 manual one by Pollard. And viewers on my channel know that I used to have a Pollard watch, Pollard Aviator, just like this. It was a bit bigger because this one is 38 millimeters and my Pollard was 40 mils, but that doesn't mean anything, and it still wears a lot big because it does not have a bezel. So this 38 millimeter watch wears on a wrist like 40 millimeter. Let me just show you that in a wrist shot. So here's a wrist shot, and this is a 38 millimeter watch, but in this style, case and configuration it wears larger. My wrist is 18.5 centimeters, but this feels like any other 40 mil watch. It has to do with the bezel, or the absence of bezel and the large dial, so it makes up for it. And I had a pretty much same Pollard Aviator. My subscribers, older subscribers knows it, and it was 40 millimeters, and it wore just the same as this one. So yeah, it wears very comfortable on this Zolo from Strapmania, and it's also pretty hefty and thick watch, but that's because it cases the Pollard's 3133 manual chronograph, and it's one of the cheapest, well, I think that's the cheapest manual chronograph you can find, and has so much history, and I like it more than a Seagull, just because Seagull is Seagull is nice and decorated, but Pollard has a bigger and more substantial history. And my favorite Russian chronographs is Strela, but not 3133, but 3107, which was a space watch. Enough about that. You saw it on the wrist, so let me give you more specs of this here watch. And I'm not here just to give you specs. It's a 38 millimeter case without the crown, 20 millimeter lug width, and that's it. It's pretty thick, so I gotta have to measure that for you. So it's a 12.5, let's say 13 thickness. So it's a Junkers, and Junkers is a, well, pretty much everyone knows Junkers, and they are famous for their planes, and they have a rich aviation history, not as a watch company, but as a aviation company. They made bombers and planes, and you all know about that. If you don't know, you can Google it, and that's why it makes sense they have so many pilots watches. Now this watch here, how much it retails for, well, I don't know. I bought it secondhand, and I think this is a bit older model. So if you wanna really buy a Junkers from an aviation company watch brand, and it's a cool history, it's not a made-up history, you can find it on eBay or on Junkers website. I don't know, I will try to find some Amazon links, so maybe similar, but I think that this model here with the Pollard movement, you will have better luck finding on eBay. Speaking of eBay and buying used watches, especially used Pollard or the 3133 movement and used chronographs on eBay, you gotta be very careful because this watch runs well, and I bought it off a dealer. I knew about the issues, but I still bought it. I wanted to show you guys, and I wanted to see if I'm gonna keep it because I do miss my pilot, but I think the pilot has more appeal to me because they made the movement, and this year they just bought the pilot's movement and put it in their watch. So kind of snobbish of me, but hey, it is what it is. And when I was wearing my pilot, I eventually sold it because I didn't give it much risk time, because this military type dial and this it's not really working too much for me. Maybe with the bezel and something, but this just style, it does not float my boat. I prefer more of a vintage or even more of a modern, but the vintage pilots as my thing, and this is a true vintage pilot that was actually issued to a pilot, but this one is also very cool and just peaks pilot's watch. So I want to talk about the movement more, but I want to show you the movement as well, and to show you the case back of the watch, and not all watches I show you can be straight bought with the link and stuff like that, and those are my favorite watches anyways. But this is more just a bit closer. So yeah, this is that famous pilot 3133 movement, which is modified Valju 7734 movement that Russians upgraded. So this represents even a bit more modified and better improved version of that Swiss counterpart. But these watches can have issues, and especially the newer ones, because they made them more in a mass produced, so they have issues. But I'll talk about that in just a second. Just want to say here it says water resistant 5 atmospheres, so 50 meters. This is a limited edition, number 32 out of, I don't know, it doesn't say, made in Germany, all stainless steel, and made in Germany stuff are just good quality. I have here German knife, Boca, if I say that great, but it's just a pure class, and everything made in Germany as synonym for quality, whether it's Junkers, Elangenzone, or Glashut, or Sin, everything, it's just synonymous. So it's a really cool watch, this one, but like I said, I bought it off a dealer. I gave him some cash, and I threw in my G-Shock for this watch. So it's simply because I sold my pilot, which I liked, but I didn't wear it because it wasn't really my style. I liked more dressy watches and more something preppy than the strictly military stuff, and I didn't wear it, so I wanted to give this one a shot. But this one comes with an issues of the movement. You can see the red hand is not aligned to the 12 o'clock, which is pretty easy fix for pilot. You just need to adjust a couple of screws, and that should be fine. But the date's also a bit messed up, so I don't know, will I service this? I have bills. I've been to the dentist yesterday. I'm gonna go into the dentist again, so I'm not really sure am I gonna keep this one or just gonna flip it. If I keep it, I will definitely service it, but it will require some money. So let me just start off here the chronograph, and even the minute register is not working. So in my books, this watch is pretty much needs a good service and fix before it can be really variable. It works, it keeps a correct time, it's everything great, but the stopwatch function here is it's pretty much busted. And I like chronographs, it's one of my favorite, and it's one of the hardest complication in watches, but this one just it takes a lot of money. So that's my message to you, and a bit of warning: if you're buying used mechanical chronographs, you always make sure that they're working fine correctly, stopping, resetting, minute registers, everything. And still, when you still buy them, you need to set aside some money for service. So you can see it's top tier, so it has an issue here, but that's pretty common to the this moment. So it's a good workhorse, reliable moment, but I'm guessing that this is a poor use or previous owner who didn't know how to start up and reset chronograph and abusing it. So yeah, it's still a good watch. It has a cool movement. I like the mechanical stuff of it, and much better than a quartz. Junkers as a brand, I like it, but I'm not too crazy about them. Like I said, I had a pilot just like this. You can find it. It's called, I call it the Twidell Pilot Aviator 1, and you can check out that video of mine. And I think that I would prefer that pilot over this Junkers, but these retail more than pilots. And if you go to Junkers website, you will learn a lot about their history, aviations, planes, and everything. And it's definitely cool watch to have, and with some real history. And I kind of like that, some real history. I don't like new brands too much. So it's a cool watch. Go to the Junkers website, check it out for yourself. I will try to find some links on Amazon, put in the description box so you can check that out. Junkers have a lot of different styles and models of watches, and they have even the quartz versions and the Miota, but they're pretty much buying movements from outside sources, so put in their watches. And the pilot is making their own, but I don't think pilot makes any more watches. So that's it. Enough with the ramble. I know some of you guys enjoy a bit more longer videos. I always click on the longer videos because I like to do something in the background while listening to the YouTubers, but I think I pushed the limit, so I'm gonna end it here. It's a cool watch. It requires service, and I will see if I'm gonna keep this one or gonna flip it, because I already have one cool, really cool chrono that I really like, and I always wear more than this one. So probably I will sell it or fix it. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys. It's a really cool brand, and it's a construction is perfect. The case build and everything else here is just great. So that was my little review of this Junkers Pilot's watch with the 3133 movement. Cool watch, cool military pilot's watch if you're into that kind of stuff. I like them more, but dressy and nicer, but that's just me. So thank you for watching. I'm edcgunner, and see you in the next video. Please like this video if you liked it, and subscribe for more.